All right, DoorDash drivers and YouTube viewing universe, welcome to another edition, my DoorDash daily recap video. For today is Wednesday, November 22nd, and this is Joe, the 50 something Dasher, um, with recapping another one of my days in the DoorDash driving life. And I had, of course, I posted yesterday the really short dash, which is one order. Today, I thought I'd stay logged on for at least up until my full, 8 to 3, if possible, or at least most of that. And kind of make up for some lost time yesterday, but I really did. I was logged on for almost an 8 hour day today, but it was not the greatest dash. I finished with 113 bucks. That's it. So this was not one of my better days, but a couple interesting stories here. A lot of screenshots to show here. So let's get through them. First order offer. I didn't get until 6:52. What time did I log in? Uh, let's see here. So I waited a half hour for an order. I logged in at 6:22, waited a half hour. So I've waited as in the mornings for my first order. I've waited as long as 45 minutes to an hour. As, you know, but as long as I've said before in videos, as long as it's still dark outside in the morning, I'll just stay here. I don't care if it's an hour that I wait for an order. I just stay in here if it's dark. If it's light outside, I'll go park it near one of my pickup spot locations. But this was just kind of like this was um, a run of the mill order for me, delivering to a daycare that I've delivered to many times before. They always order Wendy's, breakfast in the morning, and so very familiar delivery here. So that got me started. Let's get back to my notes here. Um, Next up was, and I'll start closing these out when I don't need them anymore. Uh, $8, 5 miles Taco Bell. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that one too. It you see here is kind of going near like the hilltop area, but it wasn't a bad delivery. Then I get this $26 Meyer order. Um, 32 items, and it was going near downtown Columbus. So I was a little bit concerned with the time here. If I had this shopped by about 8:30 or so, it might be a bad time to be leaving the Meijer to go into downtown. But once I got there, and I didn't take a screenshot of the shopping list, but once I got there, looked at the shopping list, I seen that this was going to probably take a while. It was somebody's complete. It looked like a complete Thanksgiving shopping list on this order. There was a turkey. There was several items from the produce department, like four collard greens, some parsley, green pepper, red pepper, tomatoes. I can't remember what all else from the produce. Some bananas. And then like three different kinds of the aluminum roasting pans, and then various other seasonings, stuff like that. So it was like a full Thanksgiving shop, and I was kind of had a little bit difficulty shopping some of these items, and then it was taking a while. But anytime I got frustrated, I kept telling myself, look, just might as well just take your time on this and just try to push this shop until close to 9 o'clock. And that way traffic's not going to be a factor when you get out of here. So I tried, I didn't stress it too much on this order. Um, the when I got into the foil pans, the center aisle display, I didn't see any of these three items there. So I had to go to the aisle in housewares where those are and found them all there. But there was this other customer, I got there and a minute or two I was looking and, I found one of the items and I was still trying to find the other two. And then this other customer, he looked like maybe like a DoorDash driver, Instacart as well. He was looking for something and looking at his phone. But he just like barged his way into that aisle and stood like in the center of an aisle, just completely like disrespectful. I had to kind of like, squeeze my way like in behind him. He wasn't giving me any room. I try to be respectful. I try to move my cart to the side of the aisle and I stay as close to one side as possible so people can get by me. And this guy just standing, as disrespectful as you can possibly be in a grocery store, was just standing in the middle of the aisle. And so that was frustrating, but I finally and the last item I found, I had to like squeeze my arm in behind him and reach and grab that. And I'm not the type of person that I just don't pick fights with strangers or whatever. So I'm not the type of person that's going to say something. That's just how I'm wired. So for whatever that's worth. Um, and it was is pretty much right up until I mean it was probably right around 9 when I finished shopping that, checking out. To kill a little bit more time, I went into a cashier line and I didn't have any problems waiting because I was wanting this to take until about 9. Um, so here's the delivery screen when I finally delivered at 9:24. So $18 from DoorDash, $8 tip. The shopping took me 45 minutes. um, okay, next was I just dropped that off, and next was a out of zone order. All of this was South Zone. The pickup, and which the pickup, I was just getting onto the interstate, and I'm not for sure, but I'm pretty sure that added like another mile or so onto this. I think if GPS or if DoorDash would have given me the offer before I got to the interstate, I think I probably wasn't supposed to get on. Um, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so I pick up at a Tim Hortons location that I'd never picked up from before. Not familiar with that location. And you see here, just delivered it like directly south. And like I said, I'm still in the south zone at this point. And then I get a order that's like in that this is Wendy's, so the $5 for 3 miles, and that takes me kind of like, so I'm pick up in the south zone, and this takes me like just back into zone, or maybe like just outside of it, but I'm practically back in zone when I deliver that order. Next was a decline. Um, 325, 3.7 miles. What happened here was, you see, I'm on like the main road here, and I'm driving towards the McDonald's when I get this offer, and I see that, okay, so DoorDash wants me to go the direction that I'm going and pick up the McDonald's, but then turn around and go back the other way, the way I just came from, to deliver back to that other zone again. And for $3.25, I'll pass. Give me, I just did two orders out there. Give me something in zone instead. If that would have been $5 or $6, I would have done it, but not $3. So then, and so only a minute later, I get something much better. So I end up passing the McDonald's, and in this minute here, past the McDonald's, the Taco Bell's next door to the McDonald's. So I pass all that, then get this offer, $5, 8 miles. Well, actually, I passed the first turn for the McDonald's, get this offer, and immediately, turn into the, sharp turn into the second turn in for the McDonald's. And I just had to go around the McDonald's parking lot and then just go straight across the little road to the Taco Bell. I pick up this Taco Bell. You can see it. Everything takes place on the main drag. The customer was one of the businesses further on down the street. Easy as 1, 2, 3 on that one. Next was my first. I actually had two drops of the day, and this was my first one. So I get this $7.50 IHOP for only 3 miles. I get to the IHOP and it is slammed. There are obviously the day before Thanksgiving, and I walk in, the parking lot is full. Fortunately, this IHOP has one kind of like designated parking spot for delivery drivers, so there wasn't another driver parked there. I got my usual parking spot. But all the rest of the parking spots were full, I can tell you that. And I go in there, I did not see an empty table. And this, whether it's IHOP or TJ's or Bob Evans, any of these sit down, home style family restaurants, when you go, at least me and my zone, when I walk into these type of places, Cracker Barrel, that's another one, and when it's a packed full mob scene in there, I can pretty much guarantee that I'm not getting my order. I mean, it's pretty much a given, because when it's the mob scene atmospheres, you're talking bare minimum 45 minutes for them to make an order that's being picked up by a delivery driver. 45 minutes, if not an hour or more. I talked about before, a lot of these places, most of these restaurants, they prioritize it. It's the foot traffic. Foot traffic is number one. Drive through, and then any kind of delivery orders is last priority at most of these places. Um, McDonald's seems to do a pretty good job of doing orders in like the order they receive them. It kind of seems like. But yeah, these all of these sit down restaurants. Oh no, no, when it's packed, they're focused on the people sitting at the tables. So my timer was started, and sure enough, 10 minutes came, and I dropped it. The screen looked a little bit different. A little bit This was the simplest process that I've had to date on a, I just clicked on the question mark at the top of the screen. Problems with the order, went into my problems or whatever it's called. Clicked on wait time, clicked on this right here, order has a long wait time, and then unassigned with no pay. And then I see this, as long as you see something like this at the bottom that will protect your completion rate, boom, click unassign. And then I got that page where it asks how much longer if you just had to guess. I just put like 15 minutes, and I forget what the second question. I just answered those two questions. Boom, dropped. Unassign that with no penalty. So uh, fingers crossed that it continues to be a simple process like this. In past videos I've talked about how it's changed a couple different times, and it's not always been nearly as easy as this. Um, what was next here? My IHOP, and then okay, so this order is the main subject of the video, today's video. I get my, and I've had some short distance deliveries before where I'm just driving across a parking lot, but for the record set today, for the very first time, I get a pickup that's delivering next door. So I'm on Stringtown. I'm everything's so close together. They didn't even they couldn't even put the blue dot on here for where I was because of everything so close. And I get this offer come across the string, 55 feet. I mean, how is that like even possible? So I assumed it had to be a next door delivery. And so I was on my phone with my wife, and she's like, it's delivering to the Popeyes? And I was like, it must be either that or, so on one side of the Tim Hortons you got Popeyes. On the other side, there's like it's like a drive-through for pet supplies. Which I've never seen anything like it in anywhere else I've been anywhere, like where you can get like dog food, cat food, pet supplies, and stuff like that. But it's a drive-through. It's pretty cool. So I mean, it had to be one of those two places. This ended up not being 55 feet for me because I was just passing the Tim Hortons when I get this. I had to, my car was still moving. I had to go up a little bit further and I think I turned into the Giant Eagle entrance and then did kind of like a quick turnaround. I had to come back to it. But I get to Tim Hortons. It was just two coffees. They hadn't started making them yet, so I was able to again, I've talked about this where it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. People that place orders coming to a business, please put the name of the business in the driver instructions. I don't know why people don't do that, but I just have the address is all I have. So I had to, open up a web browser and type in the address and just to confirm where it was, and it was the Popeyes. Um, so they finished that order, and I didn't even move my car. I just left my car in the spot where it was at Tim Hortons, and I just walked over to Popeyes and delivered it. And I figured on my walk back to the car, that's when I was sending my that I do on hand to customer orders. I send my order delivered. Thanks for placing your DoorDash order. And then I usually wait a minute before I close out the order. So that walk back to the car, that's when I did all of that stuff. But yeah, closest delivery ever to this point, 55 feet. And I told my wife, and you guys are going to hear this first, for unless somebody else has come up with this, but I maybe not. You probably are going to hear this first from Joe, the 50 something dasher, the 1 star dasher, by the way. Um, I would not be surprised if at some point down the line I get a order that I pick up and it's not going anywhere. It's just delivering right there to the same place. Like I get an offer and it says 0 feet. You heard it here first. So basically I pick up the order at the Tim Hortons and then confirm the pickup, and then I just stay right there at the counter and immediately deliver it to one of the staff in there. And the reason being is I could see at some point down the road DoorDash having some kind of promotion where if you place X amount of orders within a certain time frame, if you place 10 orders in a 1 week time frame or something, you get a free delivery or some promotion like that. And where somebody is, a fast food worker is getting close to hitting a goal or whatever, and they just kind of like place an order for at the time that they're working and the order's not going anywhere. So I could see that happening. But until that happens, this is as close as it gets. This is as close as you can possibly have, I think, is a next door delivery. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Next. What's next here? This was a decline. 650, 10 miles going out east. No thanks, decline. And you see 10:54 here. We're closing in on my busy hour, so this would have been bad if I would have taken this. Something much better is bound to come up. So that was at 10:54. So fast forward 8 minutes and I get a better offer. Um, and oh, I forgot to mention, and then after that decline, I immediately pause my dash to get more closer over to the other side of my zone where I'm probably going to get better offers than where I was at. I always get kind of screwed right at 11 o'clock, Stringtown Road area. So I'm not going to let that happen. I paused my dash. I waited till I got closer over to the other side and then get a better order. 550, 2.7 miles. The sushi from Kroger. And this delivered to a familiar customer. I delivered to the city landfill, and this customer I probably delivered to, and she gets the sushi every time. I don't think I've delivered anything else there, and so I'm familiar with the whole process. So this. Even though Kroger was both Kroger locations in Grove City were super slammed, but doesn't affect me any. I don't have to go to the cash registers or anything. I just go, it's like going to a restaurant. I just go to the sushi counter inside Kroger. The order was ready, pick it up, walk outside the store. It didn't matter to me how busy the store was on this order. And then I just go to the landfill, and there's a certain lane you get into to go up to the booth. It's like a weigh scale booth. It's kind of like going through the toll booths at a toll station, kind of. So I just drive up to the booth. Don't even have to get out of my car. Hand her the order. Boom, done. Easy. Easy 550. Next is I'm leaving the landfill. I'm coming back over to Meyer area. This one was tough. I was like, oh man. And you see how my timer on this got all the way down to 10 seconds. $22, 11 miles, So, money to miles was good. But the two things that scared me was the 29 items and going near downtown. And I contemplated and was thinking and brainstorming, and no, this worries me and scares me. So decline. It's still, you see here, 11:19. I'm still at the busy hour, so no. It's just a no on that one. Um, then I get another decline. 850, 12 miles. Going south at Commercial Point, I mean, why not give me an order going to Cincinnati? I mean, that's where this might as well be going. South as south can be on this one. I mean, no, I'm not taking this one. Come on, DoorDash. Okay, boom, right up my alley. Now, I mean, normally, most dashers would be like, Joe, come on, you're saying a $4 order is better than an $8.50 and a $22 order? Absolutely. I take this all day long at this particular time frame over those other two. Give me the $4, 1.9 mile. I don't have to shop 29 items for one thing, and I don't have to drive down to frickin' Cincinnati or Kentucky. $4, I'm on it. And I'm dropping my phone at the same time. Whoops. So I deliver that. No additional notes or anything on that. And then I get this Meyer order. Now this is a better Meyer order. Okay, this is $12.75. It's only 3 items. Yeah, it's 10 miles, but you see here, everything's in zone. This is just going from one side of my zone to the other, staying in zone. I'm taking it. And then, so that was at 11:32, and 6 minutes later, when I think I'm out of my car and walking up to the front door, I get, they stack this other one on top of it, for an additional 11.25, additional 7 miles, and only 6 items. And this does have alcohol, but that's okay. Now, the only problem here, this is going to be kind of heavy miles. I've had, I think last week I showed an order that was kind of like this, where I'm making this big, gigantic circle around. I'm basically driving around the whole perimeter of my zone. I mean, that was the only bad thing about this, is it was a lot of driving, and it felt like a lot of driving to make this $24 here. And did I get a shopping list here? So that's picture 45. No, I didn't. I didn't take any additional pictures for this stack. So let's see here. So the first order, all that was like snacks, for like 3 different kinds of chips. That's all that was. It's practically in one aisle. But one of them is 2 things from the chip aisle, and then one of those variety boxes of chips, and that was like an aisle or 2 over. But that was easy. And then this 6 items here was only 2 things to shop for, though. It was a like a 12-pack of beer. And then I had to go clear across the other side of the store for the other 5 items, was just these indoor and outdoor Christmas lights. Just one kind of lights, little boxes like that, and 5 of those boxes. I found them, and you know, that was really super easy to shop. It's probably much easier than whatever was going to be on that 29 item order. And but I had to do, of course, probably more driving overall for this. But it was all in zone, and only a couple different things to shop for. So I think this worked out better than that other one. Then after that, I got, let's go back to Meyer. I got, and then I get the first, that first stack. It didn't come across as a stack. One order came and then the other. This was come across as a stack. Um, so 2 orders, 16 miles, 23.75. Both of the deliveries out on the east side kind of sort of suck, but they're kind of, you see here, the deliveries are kind of close together. And 17 items, there's probably moldables, no alcohol or restricted items. Let's go ahead and do this. And so what time was this? 12:37. I'm interested to see what time when I finish this. Okay, so um, let's jot this down because I'll forget here, and like my memory, as bad as it is, I'll go through these next couple screenshots and I'll forget that 12:37 in like 1 minute from now. So I'll jot it down here in my notes. This first here's the, I took a 2 shots here of the whole shopping list, and I did not catch this, believe it or not, until just now before starting this video and downloading these screenshots. The fact that this item right here was calling for 8, I did not even notice that until now, well after I completed this, but I didn't find this though. So that's why it doesn't matter that I didn't see this until now. I went down this aisle 11 and didn't see it, and then I also went to where, like, the aisle that the mac and cheese is in, and looked all through that aisle. I could not find this. I didn't even know there was such a thing as mac and cheese seasoning mixes. So I went down 2 or 3 different aisles. I didn't find it. And the customer notes on this was, there's no substitutions. If you don't find this, cancel it and refund it. So I didn't find it. Item not found, but I didn't have to mess with it. So that was nice that those customer instructions was there on that. Second half of the shopping list. This Dasani was out of stock. I sent a message to the customer. They weren't responding. I went clear across the... No, did I? No, I didn't. I didn't go across. There was a couple added items, which I'll get to in a second. Like I said, sent a message to customer. They didn't respond. I got one of the added items. They still weren't responding. So I had to call the customer, and they gave me a substitution for this Dasani. Okay, so then I get, I probably had shopped about 4 or 5 of these items when I get this, that an item has been added and we will adjust your pay. You know, I've showed these before in previous videos. So here, now on this order, it wasn't one item, actually 2 extra things ended up being added. So here's the first. This giant sweet corn on the cob. So that's at, what is that, at 12:46. And then, oh, this was like 15 minutes later, they added another item, the whipped frosting. And you'll see in the final pay screenshot here, I didn't get any extra pay for this. And then this was 2 items, and this is like the second or third shopping order in a row now where it says it's going to give me extra pay, and then they don't. So I don't know. I don't know why not, or what's going on with that, but whatever. Um, so I got in my notes here. So I that okay. So this was added. You saw in that the first shopping list screenshot. There was a um, one of the items was overnight pads, which is clear on the other side of the store. So I went clear over there to get that, and then saw this with frosties, and then I have to go clear back to the other side of the store again. I'm like going back and forth across this store and get this, and then I guess I called the customer last on the water. So here is the final screen after I delivered the second order. There you see the $23.75, so no added money. And what time did I say? 12:37. So this took me just over an hour. I guess that this one, even with all that driving, it didn't take like as long as I kind of thought it probably did. So an hour and 7 minutes. That's not bad considering all that driving and the fact that I had to keep going back and forth across the store. Um, okay, then now we're almost to the end here. I declined this. I was close. You see, I was close to the Panda Express, but I was in the wrong. I was in the lane to turn right off the interstate when I needed to be in the left-hand turn lanes. And this offer right here, this just didn't seem just very appetizing. I mean, I was still kind of hungry, but this didn't do anything for my appetite right here. $6, 6 miles going east of High Street. No thanks. Well, let's get something else here. So that was at 1:55, and not even a minute later, boom. So decline that, and not even a minute later, 4 miles, $12. Big Lots. I was like, it's been a while since I haven't had a Big Lots order in a while, and then, hey, $12. Let's do it. Let's go to Big Lots. Only 5 items. How bad can it be? Spoke too soon on that. Why? In a DoorDash delivery order, you're going to place an order for a clear bath mat. Why? I can understand these. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. I can understand door dashing some sweet potatoes and some corn. That completely makes total sense to me. A Santa's Workshop Penguin Family Shower Curtain Set. Why? What? Please, somebody. Why do that? Why? Just like the order I had the one time from Meyer where a guy orders a pair of shoes. Like normally, don't you want to like try a pair of shoes on first? Or I never mind. I guess I can. I've had shoes. I've bought shoes before and had, but not like through DoorDash. I have a delivery driver I've ordered them off of like Amazon or something like that, but a brand that I've worn before. But I'm getting way off topic here. So I went in the store and I look to my right, I see like towels and bath stuff, and it looks like these two things. Well, the other one's seasonal, Christmas. I don't know where in the heck that's going to be in the store. But the first item should be to my right. Okay, so I go over there. I pretty much go down all 4 or 5 of the aisles that's over there. And I see all kinds of bath towels. I see all kinds of shower curtain liners, everything I see over there for a bathroom or shower except bath mats. And I also had grabbed like a cart. And this Big Lots is about as hard to push a shopping cart through the aisles as like the dollar stores around here. Why even have shopping carts to let the customers use if the aisle isn't even wide enough to fit a shopping cart? So a couple of the aisles I went down twice. I didn't see this. And then, like I said, that last item, I mean, who in the world knows where that would have been in the store? And I just, I was nearing the end of my dash. I was tired. I was getting hungry. And to just be perfectly honest, I saw like 1 or 2 associates, but I didn't stop them, to ask them. I figured if it's an order that's this complicated, where half of the list I have to ask for help. Okay, this is too much complication for me right now at the end of a dash drop. So I just went out the store. You see, I don't know how much longer I was in the store. Let's see. So that was at 2:06. There you see I logged off at 2:08. So I only lasted in that store 3 minutes. 3 minutes and done. You see how little my patience, thin my patience gets towards the end of a dash, like on stuff like this. It's like, super thin. You can barely even see it. My patience level. So, and I was at 99% completion, and the one drop I had on my record falls off in about, I want to say, 10 to 12 orders from now. 15 at the most is when that falls off. And then, so I had some room to spare on the completion. That I dropped this Big Lots. That takes me to 98 for the moment. But next week I'll be back up to 99. And so I'm good. You just need to stay above 95. So I was fine with that drop. And that, that's a good order for some other dasher. I mean, maybe they've, whoever it was assigned to next has been into that Big Lots more often, and they know exactly where the bath mats are, hopefully, or they asked somebody. Probably the next dasher probably did much better inside there than this 1-star driver. So I logged off 13 deliveries, $113, and finished with 78% acceptance rate. So that's a pretty good number to be at. We just got Friday. I'm scheduled to dash, and then I think, what is it, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, or the 30th might fall on Thursday. It's either 2 or 3 days I'll be dashing next week. So I'm pretty good shape there. Mileage, It felt like I drove like 200 miles today. That's what it felt like. But I looked at my final numbers when I got done with this dash, and I drove 108 miles today. So I did better than goal, which was like really surprising. But um, so overall, not a great dash, but not, I guess, not bad either. Did have a couple declines, did have a couple drops, and one with penalty, but overall wasn't too bad. So that's it for today's summary. Uh, Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, have a happy Thanksgiving. See you at the next video.